Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Tuesday the 29th of June 2021. Today in Mill news, big news for a young Millwall player, Hayden Muller. He is off to Scotland. He's going to be playing for St Johnstone, and this should be a club very familiar to Millwall fans because last season Isaac Olofi went on loan there for a month or so, and Danny McNamara went there and played very, very well. Got a couple of man of the match awards, scored a goal, was very highly rated. Yeah, and James Brown went on loan there as well, and played his part in getting 2 cup final victories for St Johnstone. So this story is from the courier.co.uk. It's a Dundee Courier, is the Dundee local paper. And let's have a read of it. So it says Millwall defender Hayden Muller set for St Johnstone loan. St Johnstone manager Callum Davidson is set to return to his old club Millwall for a 4th loan signing from the Championship side. Now, yesterday I told you about Danny Ballard was basically a done deal. They're waiting for the medical. So, you have a young defender coming in from Arsenal. We now have a young defender going out on loan from Millwall. So I think Danny Ballard was signed as cover, so Hayden Muller could go out on loan. So now that this seems to be moving for Hayden Muller, I think we're probably going to see the Danny Ballard signing announced tomorrow, maybe the day after. But the fact that this is coming out now probably means that is absolutely green light, cast iron, guaranteed that we'll be signing Danny Ballard. So Hayden Muller, a 19-year-old defender who can play at centre half and right back, has been lined up for a season at McDermott Park. He will follow in the footsteps of Danny McNamara, Tanto Olofi and James Brown, with Sean Rooney subject of a 200k bid from Rotherham United and transfer speculation surrounding centre-backs Jason Kerr and Jamie McCart. Muller would add versatile cover across the back line for the Saints. He has already made up a handful of first-team appearances under Lions manager Gary Rowett, who Davidson worked with before he took over from Tommy Wright in the Perth last summer. Glenn Middleton is also expected to arrive at McDermott Park. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care about that. That's not about Millwall. So, and that's the end of it. So there you go. Hayden Muller on his way to St Johnstone. Did they say? Did they say it was a season-long loan? Yeah, season-long loan. In Scotland. So that suggests that Danny Ballard signing is imminent, because I think they signed him so that Hayden Muller can go out on loan. Which I suppose kind of makes sense. Basically, you don't want to sign a player on a contract and pay fees and signing on fees and all that stuff, and have a player that's a Millwall player if the guy's just going out on loan, because he might go out on loan and then come back, and then you've got an extra player that you got to pay wages for. Whereas if you sign a player on loan and you send the other player out on loan, so what happens then if Arsenal recall Danny Ballard because he's not playing a lot, like Troy Parrott happened to Troy Parrott with Spurs, then we just get Hayden Muller back from St Johnstone. Sorry about that. Or if we want Hayden Muller to come back, then we just send Danny Ballard back to Arsenal. So this kind of makes sense to me. It's very, very, very good bit of business, and hopefully Hayden Muller will do really, really well up there. And don't forget, you can watch his progress on BBC iPlayer. They do, I think it's called Sports Scene, a program every Saturday night. Like, it's a Scottish match of the day. If you that way inclined, you can keep an eye on him by watching BBC iPlayer, Sports Scene, Saturday nights, Scottish football. Moving on. So, we saw yesterday about Gary Rowett talking about Jed Wallace's contract situation. and I didn't really like that at all. What was said there. But it seems that Gary Rowett spoke to the press, and it seems they've had a long conversation and they've picked bits out to do various stories throughout the days and throughout the morning and the afternoon. So we've got 3 stories, but I think they basically came from the same conversation, Gary Rowett. So we're moving on. This one is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, which is South London Press's online website, and it says Millwall players set for multiple tests when they return to training tomorrow. Millwall players report back for preseason training tomorrow. You know what the first day of preseason will be? It will be a great day to announce a young defender signing on loan, wouldn't it? So preseason training tomorrow, Wednesday the 30th. I thought it was the 1st of July. Okay, but I guess it's Wednesday now. And the first day will all be about testing. So it's like a pre-season. They just go in for tests. The Lions start their preparations for the 21-22 Championship season as they head back to their Calmont Road training ground. Millwall manager Gary Rowett said the lads come in Wednesday and we'll have a few meetings just setting some ideas and ground rules. There will be multiple tests to see where they are physically and give us a guide as to how hard we can push them in those early days. That usually takes the whole of Wednesday. We're talking body fat, hydration test, VO2 max, jump tests, just to get every metric. How about a 40-yard dash, 40-40, whatever they call it in the NFL? Similar thing, no? It is a nice, easy introduction. They can chat about the holidays they haven't been on. They can chat about the rain and being in Cornwall or Devon and how depressing it was. The next day will be a little more testing. Then we'll be back on the grass and doing some ball work. Straight back into it. Getting stuck into those balls. So there you go. So that's... So you can see that there, that story, like, it's how short it is. But so they've spun that out, and then there's another one here. So this is from news@den.co.uk, and it says Millwall manager on improvements to facilities, including pros and cons of new Den pitch. Millwall boss Gary Rowett believes it is important for players to see the improvements that have taken place when they return to Calmont Road, and it feels it challenges them to move with us. The club have had contractors in at their base and at the Den over the closed season. The Lions squad returned to the training ground this week for medical and fitness testing before resuming work on the pitches. Millwall will travel to a camp in Scotland next week for 5 days. I think just in general we're trying to move things forward. There are so many little things getting done, Rowett said. Explained, I don't know what that means, explained earlier in the summer. We're having work done on the pitches. The drainage is getting done and bits of the irrigation system. The training ground is quite an old facility and we're just trying to keep moving it forward. So the players come back and they can see that they're moving forward and they've got to move with us. It's important for them to see. And they've actually put up a tweet here, so this is the finished work here. Still looks a bit patchy and a bit bumpy. And there's it looks like there's grooves in the thing. I don't know what's going on there. Is that they still got to fill that in? That's a bit weird. A new Hunter industry system for 2 pitches up and running. Millwall Football Training Ground. Is that a painted on line or is that a groove in the thing? That looks a bit weird, though. Is that a shadow? Is that I don't know what that is. That is a bit weird. Okay. So the ones that played a lot last season get 2 to 3 weeks, really low level fitness programs after the end of the season, mainly just a breather mentally and physically to refresh. It was far more intensive season than you would normally get. Then it's about building up. The young players have strength and conditioning programs. For some of the other players, it's a maintenance program. It's a bit of a blend. Lads come back now almost fully fit. It's quite interesting to see. Back when I was playing, players would come back a stone overweight and then need pre-season to get back to normal. It's slightly different now. Millwall players will also have a Premier League standard service in SE16 at the Den. So is this what it looks like now? So this is what it looks like now. Look at that. It's still muddy. There's no grass there yet. When was this put up? Does it say? June the 24th. So you would assume that was taken on June the 24th or before. So what is that? So we've got a month to go for the grass to grow. There's a month to grow for the grass to grow. So this is an application of our new biostimulant formulation of Vital Nova Links, going down with H2 Pro Tri-Smart at a new den yesterday. Pro Select 1 Premium Pitch was seeded on Monday. Okay. I assume that's the name of the grass seed that they put down. It's called Pro Select 1 Premium. Wow. So that was put down on Monday. So the 21st they're talking about. So the grass seed was put on Monday, and then putting down fertilizer. It would seem some kind of fertilizer on the 24th. So hopefully the birds haven't nicked all the seeds, and we'll see how we go. So it's basically got all of July to grow, and hopefully it'll be fit and proper for the new season. So that's interesting, isn't it? Let's carry on. Rowett added, it's nice to see that progress. It was something that was going to be done last summer, but obviously because of COVID, from a financial aspect, the club appreciated it probably wasn't a massive priority at that point. It's like anything, you want a good playing surface, but it doesn't always help you within games, because there will have been times when teams come into a poor surface to Millwall on an intimidating Tuesday night in the middle of winter. I'm sure they wouldn't have looked forward to that type of game too much, but we're trying to play a way that we need the surface just as much as anyone else. It will be a massive difference, hopefully, for us on a better pitch with our fans back. There is a lot to be positive for next season. Indeed. And moving on now, so the third one. Is this the same one? No. So this is also from news@den.co.uk. They're using the picture of the pitch being dug up. But they say, Gary Rowett confirms when he wants to play Portsmouth Carabao Cup tie as Mill wait on new den pitch. Gary Rowett wants Mill to play the Carabao Cup tie, first round tie, after the Championship opener against Queen's Park Rangers. First round games are scheduled to take place in the week commencing the 9th of August, which is after that Queen's Park Rangers game. But clubs are allowed to agree a date between the 31st of July and 4th of August. So it will effectively be their last sort of pre-season game, because technically the cup isn't part of the season, it is separate from the season, so it would be a pre-season game. However, with a new pitch being laid at the Den, which is why Rowett's men are away on the opening day, the Lions' clash with Portsmouth is likely to be played after the trip to Loftus Road. Rowett said, "We haven't decided that yet. It's a cup game, and it's a good cup game. Last year, teams used it as a pre-season friendly, but my personal preference would be to put it after the first league game, because then it would be our first home game." Yes. And I would imagine the pitch re-innovation would probably dictate we will probably have to put it after the first game, and it will be good to have it against a good side like Portsmouth. Yes, so Portsmouth midweek. Now in the Carabao Cup first round, you're usually lucky to get 2,000 Mill fans crammed into the West Upper. But if this is our first home game back at the 10, if there are no restrictions, but we're not too sure about that because Boris is fucking everyone around. But if all the restrictions are lifted and it's back to normal, no mask, no distancing, no nothing, crack on, then this Carabao Cup game, being our first home game post-COVID nonsense, I would imagine that the place will be absolutely buzzing. I would imagine that it will be a sellout. I would imagine that it will probably be our highest attended Carabao first round cup game ever in our history, or League Cup even League Cup game in our history. I imagine if there are no restrictions, that it will be a complete and utter sellout. Especially, I would imagine, if the club put the tickets on at a decent price and don't try and milk everyone because they know it's going to be full of people. Now, normally, I would say it would probably be about 15 quid to get in. If they go for that again, I can imagine the place will be absolutely rammed. And it will be absolutely fantastic to go back to the Den midweek under the lights. It will probably start, it won't be dark, but then it will get dark later on. Might go to extra time or penalties. I don't know how. I'll probably go straight to penalties these days. It'll probably be a 7 o'clock kickoff as well. And I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely fucking amazing. And yes. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.